In all actuality, that's what we're here for tonight. If you don't know it, your governor did declare this the Winter Weather Awareness Week. And for the most part, here in Kentucky, we know about severe thunderstorms. We know about the tornadoes. We deal with those constantly. But we're starting to have varying winters. It's not like what we used to have a long time ago to where it would snow a lot. It's not like a couple of years ago to where we have nothing. Now we're having persistent ice storms often. And that's a whole different situation. So when you think of winter storms, don't think of like Colorado with the blizzards, with the snow. Think Kentucky-wise about your icing on your roadway. Winter storm in a vehicle, pull off the road and turn on the hazard lights. Emergency workers are more likely to see you if you're in your car. Conserve your car's battery. Stay warm with it. You know, you have to crank it every once in a while to keep warm. Wrap up with whatever you can find. The big one is do not start walking unless you can see the building you're going to. We may be driving down the road off 88. We run off into a ditch. We think, well, this person's house is just a mile down the road. I'll start walking. Well, if it was blizzard conditions, you don't realize where you're at. And then we have a problem having to come and find you. The big issue with this is call somebody before you leave to go to their house. Call ahead. Tell them I'll be there in 30 minutes. If I'm not there in 30 minutes, give them help. When using an alternate heat source, we get several calls during the winter. The one that I remember most vividly was a lady that was using one of the heat lamps with her pipe under her house. It got too hot next to a piece of wood, and it actually started the fire under the basement, progressed through the top, and burnt the house to the ground because of it. Check these things frequently. I know we want to leave them there. We want to leave them on. We want to leave the heaters on when we leave the house. But that is extraordinarily dangerous. If you're not there to watch it, even if it has an automatic cutoff on it, if it tips, that heating element is still going to be hot, and it could cause a fire. Why prepare? Disaster can strike at any time. The one that I remember the most, and I guess it's because I was still sitting in elementary school at the time, was when they had the lacquer truck at the Allendale Church. That's the one I remember that we had to shut parts of the city down because they were afraid of the drift of the hazmat materials would actually make it to here. I remember sitting in the elementary school and they told us we had to shut all the windows, seal all the doors, and shut the air conditioners off to where they were self-ventilating. We couldn't vent outside. And we stayed like that for hours on end. The questions that you can answer for yourself is, do you have an escape plan? I'm not talking about out of your house. I'm talking about out of the county. If you had to evacuate from here, do you know where to go? Who can you contact out of the county or even out of the state to let them know you're okay? That way somebody's not looking for you. Do you know? And how long can you last if you're stuck where you're at? You got to think, did you go to the grocery the day before to stockpile? Or is it at the end of the month when you're scraping and scrimping out of the refrigerator to hope you make it? And I'm going to stress again the young and the elderly. Keep an eye on them. EMS calls go up greatly because of this during the season, especially during the cold weather. They've gotten really cold and all of a sudden something's happened to them.